So, welcome back to part 3. Whilst everyone else has been drinking tea and discussing the weather, I've machined up a load of strips for the upstands on the front of each of the drawer slides. They're just going to go on like that. So I'm just going to glue and pin these in place. I want to just radius the edge again with that little tiny radius just to finish them off. But I think I'll wait until they're fixed in place because it'll be much easier to hold them then. So let's get on with the first one. Start with this top one. Just put a little bit of glue along the bottom. I'm going to put a couple of pins in with a nail gun just to hold it in place while it sets. Just you can feel at the bottom that it's lined up. Just get it lined up side to side. A little tiny gap at either side to clear the drawer on it. That one in. Just feel with your finger to get it flush at the bottom. Keep the nail gun straight, otherwise the pin will come out of the side. That's fine. So that's all of the little upstands fitted. As you can see, they're quite functional but not particularly elegant. And I think if I just run a router, put tiny radius around this front face to match this nice one on the corner, it'll look a little bit more elegant. With hindsight, I would probably have been better doing this before I stuck them on the front. You live and learn sometimes. Maybe do them on the router table. These thin strips are always difficult to hold. Anyway, this router is so light and manoeuvrable. I think we'll manage with them just on the end of the bench here. We're only taking such a small amount off, it doesn't really matter which way you work with the router on this occasion. Whichever's easiest and safest. And then you can just give them a light sanding. Get rid of any burn marks. Do the top edge. I think that looks a lot neater. We'll see how it looks in the cabinet itself. That's them all done now, and it certainly looks a lot neater to my mind anyway. One more job we've got to do. I think it'd benefit to put a backstop on each drawer slide, so when you put your box in, it goes back against a backstop and doesn't drop off the bottom. So I'm just going to machine up some little strips and stick on the back of each shelf. This really is one of those jobs where you can use up all the offcuts. I've used some of the 12mm ply here, just cut some very thin strips, glued and pinned them on the back of the drawers. And now when we slide this in place and put the box on, it sits nicely on the slide. It doesn't go backwards off the back of the shelf. When you're fixing the strips, remember the position on the back of the shelf is different for each different size of box. So there we are, that's the last one. Should just slide into place. Though actually, of course, it isn't the last one, because this is only one half of the complete caddy. So I've got to make another one exactly the same. Hopefully it'll be a little bit quicker. There you are. I told you it would be much quicker. It has actually been a very long day, but we have got the two made now. One other thing I have done, remember right at the beginning I showed you the sacrificial top on my bench I was using outside. It's much easier to cut straight through onto something. Well, I've just put a thin layer of ply on the top of each of the units. I've pinned it on with copper pins, and then if by any chance I do cut into it, it won't damage any blades. All I've got to do now is hinge the two together somehow. And I think the answer is probably to use a bit of piano hinge like this to join them up. I hope it'll be strong enough. Time will tell. If not, we're going to have to come up with something stronger. But for now, we'll give it a go. I'm using plenty of screws, so it should be okay. Although there's a fair old weight on it when it's all fully loaded with the tools. You can also now see why I put that additional strengther in the corner of each of the cabinets. There you are, that's the last one. Now of course the acid test is whether it will all close up. So let's give it a go. I think the lock's on that foot. That's looking hopeful. See if it comes together. Look at that, pure genius. Now at last I can get all my L-boxes sorted out, all my tools in order, and get the whole unit over to the new workshop. So here we are, all safely installed in the new workshop. There's still some way to go yet though, but at least now with my tools all neatly organised in the trolley and some work surfaces to work on, I can at last make some progress fitting it all out. I'm Alan Holtham. Till next time, bye bye for now.